Hello, everybody, and welcome into Austin Rooney's election predictions. This is the final prediction for the Senate. I'm going to bring you one of the House just moments before the election starts to come out. And this will be my final election prediction. Of course, there's not much time. I can't do another one after this. So we're going to start with the Senate. I'm going to run through some of these races in the Senate going from west to east. I have filled in some states you might not characteristically think I'd fill in. It's because I did videos on them earlier in the day. I had Nevada at tilt blue. Arizona tilting red, Texas tilting red, and Florida tilting blue. Now let's move up to Montana, which is the first state we're going to take a look at. It is between Rosendale and Tester. This is a race that we've actually seen with some really close polls. It was originally thought that Tester would walk away with this one without much trouble only a couple of weeks ago, but some recent polls, even one, I believe it was from Change Polls, that showed Rosendale on top by a couple of points. That would be very, very good news for Rosendale. And the most recent poll from Trafalgar, well within that margin of error, 50-49. So look out, Rosendale has a real shot this evening. Overall, I'm putting this in the tilt blue column. I think that you're looking at probably a 2 to 3 point race in favor of Jon Tester, but ultimately it's still going to go to the Democratic candidate. Now moving over to the state of North Dakota. This one is one I'm going to put actually in the likely red column. I think that Kramer has a very, very good chance at unseating Heidi Heitkamp. Heitkamp had a come-from-behind win last time around in 2012. She said, it was a win that no one thought. It was a 10-point lead for her challenger last time, or the candidate she beat. It was actually her first time. She's only a one-term incumbent. But there was only one poll that had her down by 10. The other polls had her leading. So this is not too, this is a bit of a different race, a race that Kevin Kramer is very, very well known. And the polls are not showing just one time she's down by 10. There's a 16-point lead for Kramer. There's a 10-point lead for Kramer. There are a lot that are 8 to 10 points. We have not seen a single poll with Heitkamp winning in many months. So that's good news for the Republicans and Kevin Kramer. Now moving over to the state of Missouri. Here is the Missouri race. It's Josh Hawley and it is Claire McCaskill. This race is very close. Probably the closest race that is actually going on this entire evening. I'm going to give the edge to Josh Hawley. It is really close. I expect this to be somewhere in the less than 1% range to as much as maybe 3%, but it's going to be really close all the way through. I would give the edge again to Josh Hawley, and this is going to be a tilt Republican race here. I'm going to say probably you're looking at something like 49 to 48.1 with a few percent going to third-party candidates, but nothing more than that from Josh Hawley. But I do think, again, if I'm going to choose one candidate out of this two, Hawley with a very, very slight edge in this race. Over to Tennessee, I'm going to put this in the lean Republican column. Blackburn has a pretty healthy lead from what we've seen out of the state of Tennessee. There were a couple polls, one from Eastern Tennessee State, another one was from Vanderbilt University, that showed this race closer, that showed actually Bredesen either tied or on top by one, but the majority of other polls, whether you look at the New York Times poll and a number of other ones, Emerson, Fox News, these are all showing Marsha Blackburn with a very, very healthy 8-point lead. And then in the Senate race in Mississippi, there is a chance that should Espy face off against McDaniel, that Espy may have a shot at winning that race. But that is the only possibility. If Sidney Hyde-Smith is in that runoff with Espy, there's no chance. Right, what we're expecting at this point is Espy probably to win this election this time around in this first go-around, probably winning about 35 to 40% of the vote, and then Cindy Hyde-Smith probably following him shortly, right around that 35 to 40, and McDaniel coming in with 20 to 25% of the vote or so. But instead, if McDaniel somehow pulls off an upset and beats Hyde-Smith for second place, well, then all of a sudden it's a completely different race. But I would very strongly suspect it to be Espy and Hyde-Smith ends up winning this election probably 58 to 42 or so in that two-person runoff in late November. I'm going to put this in the likely Republican column. I think it is likely the Republicans end up winning this race. Theoretically, it's possible they don't, but I find it highly unlikely that actually occurs. Okay, moving from Mississippi up to Indiana. This is the state I'm currently in. We're getting flooded with ads between Joe Donnelly and Mike Braun. And there are polls coming out on both sides of the fence here. Overall, I do think that Braun is less likely to win than Donnelly. I think Donnelly has a slight edge in this race. We see the Fox News poll with a 7-point advantage for Donnelly. That's actually right at that margin of error of 7%. So again, that is very good news for Joe Donnelly. The other polls showing this one very, very close. I happen to think it's pretty close. I think this is going to be a 1 to 3 point victory for Mike Braun, and I'm going to give this state to the Democrats and Joe Donnelly. Now, the final two states I have, New Jersey. This is a wild card because right now the polls are showing a comfortable lead for the Democrat Bob Menendez. I don't think this holds. I think this is going to be a close race. I'm thinking 3 to 5 points is what we see in the end, and Bob Menendez squeaks it out. We saw very bad results for Menendez on primary night. I think we see more bad results tonight from Menendez, but it's enough to get him across the finish line because it is such a dark blue state in New Jersey. It's surprising, to be quite honest, that Menendez, I think, is going to be reelected. It's not quite as bad as, of course, what we saw in Alabama with what we saw from Roy Moore, but there are some pretty bad corruption charges against Menendez and things he also did that I'm surprised he was A, put up by the Democrats, and B, is probably going to win this race. But that's the way things are looking right now in New Jersey. Finally, West Virginia. This is going to go in the Democratic column too. I'm going to put this in the lean Democratic column. It is possible Morrissey somehow squeaks this out, but even though it is a traditionally Republican state over the last couple election cycles, there still is a contingency that is willing to vote blue as long as it is a moderate candidate or a candidate that truly cares about the people of West Virginia. We see this in an interesting House race with Richard Ojeda, someone who's actually a progressive, but he also does talk about how much he cares about the people of West Virginia and how important that is to him. This is going to go the way of Joe Manchin, so I'm seeing a 52-48 finish. I'm going to discuss a couple of other states before we wrap things up here. The Minnesota special election, Republicans have a shot here, but I do think Tina Smith ends up taking this one over Karen Housley. In Wisconsin, Tammy Baldwin's the favorite here. I think that she beats Leah Vukmir. It's going to be closer, but I'm thinking probably 5 to 10, maybe 12 points in Wisconsin. And then we're looking at a similar situation in the state of Michigan. It would take a real shift in this Rust Belt as we move towards this election night, something that was just unseen, that we didn't really hear about for these states to go in the Republican column. I don't see it happening this time around. It may change in 2020 once Trump's back on the ballot, but I don't think in these Senate races the Republicans are going to be able to win. I do think that James has run a really good campaign, especially over the last couple of weeks, where results have shown that James is cutting this lead from Stabenow down to as little as 3 to 5 points. So a race to keep an eye on, definitely Michigan. See what's going on there, because theoretically it's possible that someone like John James will squeak that one out. I don't find it to be particularly likely, though. All right, that's going to wrap things up for us here with my Senate prediction, 52-48 in favor of the Republicans. Have a nice night, everybody. I hope you enjoy watching the election results pour in.